the hell is going on? This is Chris again with another video today. And I have once again a random little niche thing that I wanted to talk about. Back 2 apartments ago, before I moved in with my girlfriend, then fiance, and now wife, Sarah. So this would have been 2018, 2019, when I got a printer. I made these little cards for the games I wanted to play, and at the bottom it shows like how many hours it is. Hopefully that's not reversed for y'all. And I put these cute little dollar store little I don't know what the hell they're called, paper clips, to keep them all together. And I remember leaving them on my windowsill because I was expecting to be referencing them very frequently. The things you do as a single guy apparently is you're leaving your to be played, and I'm just gonna call them to be played cards from now on. It's kind of a nod to like the booktube TBR, the to be read list, but for games. I don't really hear it to be called the to be played list. People just say backlog. I'll call these backlog cards. What was I fucking thinking? That's so much like easier to say. These backlog little trading cards, if you will. Now the fun thing is, I'll probably make this a separate video. I do have them for movies, and I do have them for comics as well, and it lists what the runtime is for the movies and how many chapters or pages, depending on if they're like a limited or like a finished series or a graphic novel. Sorry, the dog's being weird. Anyways, so I have them in 4 stacks, presumably from looking at the runtime and knowing the front cover of each of them. There's like short games. The front one is Titanfall 2, 6 to 8 hours. And the weird one is, I don't know if I split this up on purpose, but we got Dead Space, which is 11 to 13, and then we got Dishonored, which is 12 to 18. And we're gonna have to see like what the rhyme and reason for this is. And then we have 25 to 30 hours for Last of Us Part 2. And I can even see a little bit of the gold of Wind Waker, and I noticed that it's going to be, at least for my standards, not being a huge like JRPG guy quite yet. There's none of those 100-hour games in there to my knowledge, but a long game for me is 20 plus hours, 25 plus hours when I have to really like think about it, So, pretty simple exercise. We're going to go through these, see what I was dying to play in like 2018, 2019, and I'm going to make a pile of how many of them I actually played. I think in a perfect world, I can pick one of these to start playing today. I think that actually is always my goal for a video like this, is like, all right, cool, random. I probably played maybe 3 of these games and didn't play 27 of them, and I own like most, if not all of them. So what's the action item? The action item is like, let's start playing one today. Now, the good thing is we're starting off with a rare W. Titanfall 2, I just played this the end of last year, I'm guessing. I do remember, it could have been 2 years ago though, now that I say that out loud. I made a video for my top games that I played in 2023, and I'm positive I talked about Titanfall in a video. I didn't end up I kept putting off making a video for the games I played in 2024. So by that logic, it was whatever Starfield came out. It was that. Starfield, Spider-Man, that was 2023, which was a great year. People say that was like a more down year. I think that's psychotic. I didn't even play Baldur's Gate 3. Anyways, Titanfall 2, I did indeed play. A rare W on my end. So for the short game pile, which granted is not that many of these little slips here, they're very fun. I'd offer to throw the template in, but it's an Illustrator template or an InDesign template, and it killed all the ink in my printer, so I don't know if I'd necessarily recommend it. But the 6 to 8 hour Titanfall 2, it felt shorter than that, but it was awesome, incredible game. Great experience that I wish I had played far earlier. I got it on Redbox. You could buy games from Redbox for like $5, $10 maybe back in the day, and it was just the disc. And I got the disc for Titanfall 2 for a couple bucks back in the day, and never played it because people said it was so good, so slept out, so underrated. I had never played Titanfall 1 because I thought it was multiplayer only, so I didn't know why it was a 2. Very confusing, but played the campaign, didn't play a single bit of multiplayer because I played in 2023. Phenomenal game. We're gonna put that in the win pile right under the thing, the tripod, the little mini tripod you're sitting on. Oh, let's go! Back-to-back wins. I'm shocked. I didn't know this. I actually have no idea what's in here now that I'm like going through these. Bastion, which in this case I'd already owned potentially for Xbox. I know for a fact I owned it for Vita. and PS4. I'm hoping that was a cross buy. It wouldn't shock me if I owned it on Steam. And then I know for a fact I got it on the Switch. I ended up playing it on the Nintendo Switch. When I got the Switch OLED, I think I was using that as my home console. Sarah had gotten it for me, so I used the my original launch Switch to play like kind of smaller games, and I would just pick up and just keep that one game suspended until I beat it. Bastion was that one, and it was an incredible game. It got me choked up with the narration. I had never really played an isometric game like that, to my knowledge. I played top down like twin stick shooters for sure, and side scrolling beat 'em ups. No problem there. Side scrollers I'm fine with. But whenever I would see a trailer for an isometric game, I would think that I would get lost or confused or wouldn't know what's going on. And then playing a little bit of Death's Door, I just wasn't. It's also like kind of brutal, like a not quite Souls like by any means, but people would call it's a hard isometric platform. Bastion is incredible. I didn't think I would get into the build crafting as much, and I know it's nothing crazy, but I really liked staying in my bag with like one particular weapon set that I thought was overpowered. I think it was the guns. It's been a couple of years. This was in 22 or 23. I don't remember which, but love this game. I think I rated it like a 9.5. It's like a 10 in my heart because it just really got me. I didn't think that the story of like a silent protagonist could hit me as hard as a story like this could. I'm not going to say anything about the story itself, but yeah, incredible game. Very glad. I had no other than just knowing it was really well renowned and that the narration was really good. Yet another reason I kept putting it off because I was like, oh, I can't make this a podcast game, and there was a period in time where that's all I cared about. I think if we looked at the evolution of man, there was like the straight up caveman was me just playing WrestleMania 2000 for like a good decade, and just playing that. And then there was like adding in 2K and stuff like that, and starting games and not finishing them. Then like man upright was me finally beating Red Dead Redemption for the Xbox 360 and being like, holy shit, A, I beat a game without having to look up a guide or abandoning it, and B, holy shit, this is one of the greatest games I've ever experienced, blah, 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 blah. From there on, I was like, I've got to beat the games when I'm starting. And there was some rocky roads in between where there was years where I wouldn't really beat anything. I would only be playing 2K in college. So if you look at the linear progression of the games I beat per year, it was like, 1, 2, 4, 2, 3, and then it exploded to where it's like 20 plus a year. Bastion was one of those that I played. Anyways, that's the best. Okay, so unfortunately I did a little bit of spoiling for myself, but Devil May Cry, I just started this again. I've started it a couple times, and I'm like, every time I'm like, oh my god, this is so good. Why haven't I played this before? For the first mission, second mission, or third mission, I don't know which, I get lost, and I have no idea what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. I get really confused with the camera angles. I like the concept of the combat, and it's fun, but yeah, I just keep getting lost, and I need a waypoint. I know that's like such a lame thing to say. It says 6 to 8 hours. Like I have right over here. Like I said, I started the other day. I have the physical version of the 1 through 3, and I think I have the digital copy of 4 special edition as well. And it's like a game I really want to get into, and I don't think Bayonetta is on here from what I just saw, but maybe it's in this pile. But these action games, like I really like playing them, but for whatever reason, sometimes they just don't. I just like am not in the mood for them, and I don't know why that is. But this is definitely not a shut off your brain thing. I still don't know where I'm supposed to go, and I spent an hour, or probably like 32 minutes, like hacking and slashing in combat, and then another half hour, 40 minutes, like trying to figure out where I was supposed to go next. And these damn enemies respawn every time you go in the room, so it's not like I can tell where I've been, and then I have to keep fighting these guys and try not to die. So, have not played Devil May Cry. We'll put that back in the short pile. Outlast. I tried playing this in college. I guess it's 5 to 7 hours. I thought it was shorter than this, but it scared the fuck out of me. I had like an hour and a half in between classes. I came home. I closed the curtains or whatever. This was senior year. It was me and my one other roommate. He was at class. Put on the headphones, like hooked it up to my monitor. And then like literally like less than 10 minutes in, I was like screaming. It was scaring the shit out of me. This fucking guy was coming at me, and I like just had the camera, and I just like couldn't focus. I would freeze up, and I would just yell. I just knew something was gonna it's like they forecast with the audio that something's about to do a jump scare, and it still like scared the hell out of me. So I have Outlast 2, I think Whistleblower DLC. I have everything, and I've been meaning to do a beat it in a day challenge, but at the time of recording this, I tried doing the beat Little Nightmares in a day challenge, and I fucking got so frustrated and like I think quit a lot earlier than if it was just like do one chapter per day, like I did with not Infamous, with other games I've played recently. So Outlast will be beaten just because it's so short. It's just like when I look at games like this, I'm like, do I like horror games? Probably not. I don't think I've ever actually beaten a horror game. And that's such a layup. But another horror game here is Layers of Fear. That's another game that I have slated for a beat in a day challenge. But we'll see how that goes. Thankfully, Bluebird Team is like a bit more, apparently it's more of like a walking sim than anything else, especially Layers of Fear, their early work. But we'll see how well I do with it. It says 3 to 5 hours, so we'll see. I think this is more realistic than Outlast. Outlast scared the fuck out of me, and I think this will just be like a little bit weird. So 2 for 5, not too bad. I guess I can kind of put them to the side to go back in their original piles. So yeah, 2 for 5, but I know we're going to do poorly with this next pile. So I think this is probably like part 1 of 2 of the mid-length game. So we have Dead Space. I actually got halfway through this game, and this is the original Xbox 360 game. I'll play the remake at some point, but it's so weird to me for when they just remake one game and it's the first in the series, and then like what do you do after that? It's like when they obviously at the time of recording this, they will, if they have not already released Gears Reloaded, which is a remaster of the remaster that they did for Xbox One. Yeah, it wouldn't have been Xbox Series. Whatever. The Gears Ultimate Edition. They never did Gears 2 Ultimate Edition, which I hate. I hate when they do shit like that. It annoys the hell out of me. Or like Fable Anniversary, and they never did. Honestly, I'm a fake Fable fan. I don't know Fable 2. I'm pretty sure Fable 1 and Fable 2 were original Xbox. Fable 3 was Xbox 360. So yeah, they never did Fable 2 Anniversary. I think that's annoying as hell. So Dead Space, anyways, I have to restart it, I think, because unfortunately this is a great game that has like the coolest waypoint system I've ever seen, where it like he moves his body and it shows it as like part of his like, equipment, like same way he has his health gauge in his spine. But I will beat this. I don't know if I'll continue my original save file. The only downside of this original game that they probably fix in the remake is there's this one ship mission where you have to like get on a turret, and it was the most annoying thing. I used to get up an hour or 2 hours before work to play games, and it took the entire hour slot that I had and I was like, what am I gonna... I was so pissed off, and I don't think I could ever do that again. So unfortunately, though, every time I jump back into my save file, I don't remember how to play, I don't remember where I am, I go into a room, I get stomped immediately, and I don't have like any ammo left, because I guess I just spent my currency poorly. And I know you can sell your weapons back and then just get ammo of the one weapon set that you actually want, but I don't know, I screwed something up in that playthrough. Let's try to go more rapid fire through these. We're 13 minutes in. This is gonna just be me shaming myself. Metal Gear Solid 1, I never beat it. Once again, this is another game that I woke up early to play before work, and I got lost. I was liking it a lot, but I'm bad at stealth. I'm not very patient to begin with, and then I kept getting lost with what I was supposed to do next, which I know is ridiculous, but thankfully, at least I was playing that on PS3, so thankfully at least I can play on the Portal. But I don't know, man. I'm going to have to make a challenge out of it, because I really don't want to play that first fucking game, because I hate the perspective of it. And I know it's a classic, don't get me wrong. And over the years, I've learned that not Peace Walker, Twin Snakes is not the best way to play it. It's not like really faithful to the original. It's completely different. So it'd be the equivalent of saying DMC Devil May Cry by Ninja Theory is the same as Devil May Cry 1. I learned, obviously, that's not the case, as I thought it was. Shadow of the Colossus, I think I've gotten halfway through the PS3 HD version, and I've gotten halfway through the PS4 version when I was a big PS Plus premium subscriber. So I never beat it, and I think I got lost again. God, this is an embarrassing video, but yeah, I have the Eco. I have Eco, Shadow Remake, and Last Guardian, so I will definitely play those. I'll try to make a series out of it. Alan Wake. All right, great. I have played Alan Wake. I think I once again played it in 2022 or 2023. I don't remember which. I did really like it. There were elements that I thought sucked, but there's, I look back on it fondly as a good experience. Alan Wake 2, I own and I can't wait to play it, but that's one of those, so you got to really close the curtains. And I guess Alan Wake is the closest to a horror game that I've actually beaten. It's not at all. It's like more of an action game than anything else. It just has like, very slow action. Cool game, like cool, amazing concept, and I really wish I played it when it first came out, and I got it on for Christmas, like the year after it came out. I don't know which. And once again, I kept hearing how good it was, and how great it was, and how underrated it was, and how renowned it was. And I just like every time I heard that, I would like kind of put it off a week, just be like, I'll have to be in the right mindset. It's not that I don't want to. It's not me being a hipster, and apparently it's an ADHD thing as well. As something gets more hyped, you put more pressure on it, or you just like are deterred from it. You're like, all right, like the dopamine I'm gonna get from this is not gonna match like whatever I'm hearing right now. Oh, fuck me. Anyway, so keeping it moving. So yeah, I definitely will. Oh wait, no, yeah, I will play Alan Wake 2, but that's not part of this right now. So we're 1 for 4, which isn't terrible, but Bayonetta was on the docket to play this weekend for a weekend game. Last weekend I played Infamous 2. I started on Friday and I finished it on Monday night, and Bayonetta was supposed to be that. I did not do that. And 12 to 16 hours. Oh, man. Once again, I played through half this game a million times. It's just I was running out of steam. I don't know why that is. Like, the writing, when I first played this on Xbox 360, I thought the writing was so cool and funny and edgy, and I think it's because I've replayed those first missions so many times that the graveyard stuff is just like annoying at this point. I've played the first like 3 to 5 missions probably 4 times at this point, so I'm gonna have to make it 5. But I've heard amazing things about 2, and I've seen like clips from the beginning of 2, and if it's anything like gets parallels to God of War 3, which is one of my favorite games ever, and it's such a cool opening. Even the opening of 1 is so badass. So, and I have 3. I have 1, 2, 3, and then Cereza, The Lost something, Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and The Lost something. So I'm looking forward to playing those games. They look really cool. The Origins game is more like I guess it's closer to Astral Chain, where you're controlling 2 characters at once, but it gives me vibes of yet another game I haven't played, which is Okami. But anyways, oh man, this is an easy one, but I understand why I haven't played it yet. Oceanhorn. This is the first one, Monster of the Uncharted Seas. This is like a top-down, kind of like 3D isometric, top-down, I guess we'll say, Zelda clone that came out on the Switch, like pretty close to launch. I guess it was an iOS game before that, but they had since made like 2 games. One game that was like kind of more like a GameCube style game. I think that came out. It was like Oceanhorn 2. Anyways, there was a bunch of Zelda games I actually hadn't played yet, so I thought it would be good to play those before I played this. I at least played Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom, so I think I can actually play this at some point before playing like Link Between Worlds. And I don't think that those are mutually exclusive at this point in my life. But so yeah, racking up losses in this column. Damn it, a lot of these are like, I'm like, oh, they're short, but they're not that short, and they're kind of precious. We got Metro 2033 Redux. So Sarah's actually leaving on a work trip soon, and that is a game that I plan on, because I feel like that's when you have to fully commit to, have the headphones, have the curtains drawn, no interruptions. So that is the game I currently have pegged to beat during that time. It's 9 to 13 hours, so I think a couple hours a night. I think that's definitely doable. Alan Wake 2, I would love to play during that time, but I don't want to rush it, and I'm not going to play a 25-hour game in like 3 weekday nights. So Metro is on the list. Is like the game I want to play. I'm going to drop everything and play that if all goes well. Doom 3, I played when it originally came out on the original Xbox. I've never beaten Doom 1 or 2 for the computer. I used to have them somehow. I don't know, my brother got them, and we played a lot of Doom 2 growing up. I sucked at it. I still suck at it. I'm a little bit better at the old Wolfenstein games just from playing them when I was older, but yeah. Doom 3 scared the shit out of me. It's probably not as scary now, but I just loved having the flashlight button. I want to say it was the white button, but I might be mixing that up with Halo, but scared the crap out of me. I know I love that movie that came out around the same time, the Rock and Carl Urban, Aliens ripoff essentially. Like, I love that, and the fact that they had Piggy and at least one other. Oh, I might be exposing myself as a fake fan, but anyways, like whatever. There was a good crossover. They looked very similar in the character design. So I will play Doom 3. I've owned it on a couple of different platforms at this point. I just have to set the time aside to do it. I'm more likely to beat that than Outlast because it's at least a game and not just a horror experience that's gonna scare me. Oh yeah, sorry. God of War 1. I beat God of War 1 and 2 pretty in close succession while Sarah was on work trips to Germany, which is actually funny enough where she got me this jersey. So yes, God of War 1 I absolutely love. I played it back in the day in PS3 with the God of War saga, and I didn't get all the way through because I couldn't get past a certain part that you had to mash circle on, and I just couldn't. It wasn't like I had tried like 3 different, not even occasions, like 3 different playthroughs, and I just couldn't get past that one part with the Kraken like pretty early on. And I was like, I thought it was broken. I read it online and people were just basically saying skill issue, get good. But there were other people that had a similar problem as me that just couldn't make it work on the DualShock 3. And then I picked it up on Vita, which is almost impossible to fucking see on at this point. But I played, I got through that part on Vita. I guess there's just less travel on the Vita buttons. But I got halfway through and I didn't know what the hell was going on with any of the dungeons, which is pretty like apropos for the time. I was living with my parents at the time, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that was not a good time for like for figuring out video games and stuff like that. I would just get lost and get confused and move on with my life because I needed, something else to do. So luckily I did play that. So we're 2 for like 6, 7. It's hard to tell. Probably I'll say 2 for 6 maybe. Killzone. I played the first level of this when I was like very high once in my parents' basement, and I was playing on PS Plus. PS Now it was called back in the day. When they acquired Gaikai and they had their first streaming endeavor before PS Plus Premium became a thing. So it was Killzone HD, and yeah, I got super nauseous. I don't know why that was, but I own Killzone 1 through 3, so yeah, looking forward to playing those soon. I actually reorganized my PS3 titles and pulled the ones I want to play, and yeah, that's definitely one of them. But yeah, haven't beaten it. Thankfully, I got a dongle. I guess I can talk about this here. I got a dongle that you can kind of connect any modern controller to your PS3, and it'll act as a DualShock 3. And now I can use my DualSense as a DualShock 3, and it feels so much better. I finished Infamous 2 that way, and it's night and day. The sticks so much better. The buttons, like I do have a fondness for the R1 L1 of the DualShock 3 because that's how I played Uncharted 1 through 3 on it. I might have played 3 on the PS4 if we're being honest, on the Nathan Drake collection, but I know I played Uncharted 1 and 2 on the PS3 and Last of Us, and the active shooting with the R1L1, although it's like dated at this point, I really liked those, and I like the triggers as well. So anyways, dumb little aside, but yeah, I can finally play PS3 comfortably now, so that's actually upped my PS3 output quite a bit. Max Payne 3, I got it when it came out. That was when I would just watch IGN video reviews religiously, and yeah, just heard it was amazing. The story was really gripping. The visual treatment of it was great, but I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't own a PS2, so I didn't play Max Payne 1 or 2. I just saw the titles, the game covers a lot growing up in game stores of the dumb little thing. I think it's Max Payne 2. It's like Max Payne 2, the death of Max Payne, or the fall of Max Payne. And I was like, how are they gonna spoil it on the cover of the game? And I was a dumb little kid and was like thought that was so strange. And I don't know. Yeah, I haven't played it. It's Rockstar developed. It's a weird one. But yeah, one of those things. I don't know if I'll play Max Payne 1 and 2 before I play it. I own it on Xbox where it's backwards compatible. I own it on PS3. If I want to play it that way, I own it on Steam. What are you gonna do? I'll figure it out. I'll play it. It's 10 to 13 hours, so that'll be a good game in a weekend to play. Maybe I'll do that soon, honestly. It's kind of calling me now that I say it out loud, even though I didn't include it in my PS3 pull list. But Ratchet & Clank 1, I played the remake on PS4, but it's a completely different game. I've played a little bit of it on a handheld emulator device thing, emulation handheld, I should say, the RG Cube. And it was awesome. It's completely different than the remake, but it was cool having played the remake and Rift Apart. It's like cool revisiting these characters and like how differently they're written, but like how cool it is. So definitely want to play through the HD trilogy on PS3, and now that I have the controller, blah, 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 blah. 12 to 16 hours is a little bit more than I'd like for a collectathon platformer, but I'm definitely going to play them regardless, and then I'll eventually get my way to the PS3 games. Resistance Fall, man, oh my god, I got all 3 of these games on eBay or Mercari or whatever, all from separate sellers, so when they all came together, I popped it in, and goddamn, I hated that first level. Granted, I was playing on the DualShock 3, I think I just gotten a new DualShock for it as well, and then my dog, he was just a puppy at the time, he's still a pain in the ass, and he was chewing on my DualShock the other night, which was awful, but I left it on, not even on the couch, on like a side table. I put it down, I went and I threw away the packaging because I opened up all the eBay stuff, all the Amazon for the new DualShock. I was like, I should throw all this away so I'm not making a mess for when Sarah gets home. So I throw all that away, come back, he had ripped off the thumb pad little cover thing, that little rubber grip that, deteriorated on the left stick right away. But yeah, so the right stick I was raw dogging, it was just plastic and it was like cutting my thumb. And I was so pissed. And also, I was just really bad at the game, and I'm very impatient, apparently. So I kept getting popped in the head, leaving cover. So I'll definitely play the trilogy, but yeah, that first game is going to be pretty hard. So I might have to make a challenge where I try to, play for a couple hours straight just to get into it, and then I'll be fine. But I look forward to playing them, but it's so strange how that's an Insomniac franchise. But I don't think they're bringing it back anytime soon, so I feel like now's the time to pull the trigger, if you will. Batman, the Telltale series. Now, Telltale is like, it died and it came back again. I don't really know what's going on, but yeah, I have Batman, and I don't know if it would be even on here, but the sequel series, another one where I started when I lived with my parents, and then like I just picked up something else, and I don't know, I'll play it. It seemed really great. From what I've heard, it was really cool. The graphic style I like a lot. Whatever. I don't know when I own on Switch, I own on Xbox. I'm sure I own on Steam, or it's like $2 every Steam sale, so I'll play it at some point. I don't know. I haven't had the urge to. I don't even think I've ever beaten a Telltale game, now that I say that out loud. I've beaten games like it, where it's not South of Midnight. Sorry, it's a completely different game. Until Dawn, for the original PS4 game I beat last year, I think. And Till Dusk Falls, there we go. It was a Game Pass day one game. I played that as well, so like I can play those types of games. I played quite a bit of Walking Dead Season 1. Nobody yell at me. I'm sure that's on here somewhere. I just never beat it. I didn't beat a lot of games at that period of time, so not super shocking. Jak and Daxter, once again, I got the collection on Vita, played a little bit of it. Played a little bit on PS3, played a little bit on PS3 again, I think a little bit on PS4, and I kept getting distracted. I used to have an exercise bike, and I would try to play like a level a night, but the levels were a lot longer than I was able to pedal on the bike, so what are you going to do? But yeah, I own the HD collection. I'll see. Maybe I'll pick one from each pile that I'm actually going to commit to. Damn. Oh, man. All right. Fuck. Oh, man. All right, well, Prototype's the next one. I own it. I at least beat Infamous 1 and 2. That was always my drawback. It's like, let me play Infamous first, especially when I played Infamous 1. I'm like, I'm not going to play Prototype, then Infamous. So I own Prototype 1 and 2. It's fine. I have 360 copy back there, I think, and then I definitely have it digitally on PS4 because they got delisted, then relisted, I think. I don't remember. And then Guacamelee 2, I own on Switch and Steam, and I restarted on Steam after I had only gotten like a level or two in the Switch version for some reason. I just wasn't really feeling it, and then I got like 8 hours into it. It says 9 to 12 hours, and I don't believe that one bit. So I got like 7 or 8 hours into this game, and I'm like 3/4 of the way through, 2/3 of the way through. Not nearly as far as I thought, and it was just kicking my ass at one point. And, I got to pick it back up, and I haven't even uninstalled it yet. It's just I got to get back in the groove. I was just burnt out from it at a period of time, and wishing it was shorter. I love Guacamelee 1. I've beaten Guacamelee 1 3 times. Once on Steam with an Xbox controller, once on Switch, and once on Xbox platform. Xbox One, presumably. So I love that game, and this is like better in all ways, except I'm just not as emotionally hooked for some reason. I think I just didn't really like whatever was going on with the story as much as I liked the original, but it wasn't as novel either, so... but it sucks. Like, I know it's good, and I know they released a game right after that, Nobody Saves the World, that the people who played it really liked, but just didn't get a lot of shine back then. But yeah, we beat Alan Wake and God of War, so the same amount of games as the last pile, but we have quite a few more that I did not beat. We'll rip through this real quick, because I assume these are similar length games, maybe a little bit longer, maybe like that 15 to 18. Jesus. They're all stuck together, and not in a bad way. Dishonored, I really liked what I played, and I got distracted, and I forgot how to play after like 2 weeks. So I got to start that again. That was supposed to be like a game I was gonna play. I was gonna start on PS4 last week, and I had booted back up. It might even be on here. Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, and I was just like, A, the first person was like giving me a little bit of motion sickness, and B, I just wasn't feeling it at the time. I had to like really be locked in, and I just wasn't really feeling that at the time. I don't know. I kind of like right now, like, and I just got married. There's a lot going on, so it's like this is like a very much lock in type of game, and I have been in the mood for something a bit more hack and slash. Like Donkey Kong Bonanza just came out. I was playing that this morning. Funny enough, like Knack 1, I beat Knack, which might be on here for all I know. Knack 2 is on my list of something I really just want to like finish that loop, but also like I liked the mindless gameplay, and hopefully it's a little bit less frustrating than Knack 1 in terms of like the slippiness of the controls and the annoyingness of the checkpoint. So that's a game that's calling me a lot more than Dishonored right now, but I have no doubt. I have Dishonored 1 and 2. I have no doubt that it's incredible, but it's one of those, like The Last of Us, I'm not always in the mood for The Last of Us, for example. I'm not always in the mood for The Evil Within as well, but that's actually one that was calling me. I was like gonna start a new game last night, and I was like, and I was so dead tired. I was just like wanting some dopamine of like starting a new game, but I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep, so let me just go to sleep early, wake up, and play Donkey Kong. And that was like definitely the right option. But yeah, Evil Within, it says 16 to 20, and that feels long for a multitude of reasons. Like I heard it is like it outstays its welcome, and I heard, this, that, and the other about it. Like there's some controversial decisions, and it's a horror game, so I was like, how am I gonna be scared for like 20 hours? That's like longer than like most games I had played at that point, especially when I first got it. But I own it digitally on Xbox, I own it physically on PS4, I own it on Steam. So damn, it's some of these games like I've been wanting to play for so long. I'm like, maybe if I get on a new platform it'll be better, and that's just like a dumb thing, but here I am. Resident Evil 1 /RE1 remake for GameCube /RE1 HD for PS3, Xbox, PS4. Like I own it in so many capacities. Just haven't been crazy about it. About like the changing camera angles. I tried playing on vacation once. I tried playing on a flight. I tried playing it at nighttime, and I just like wasn't. And I tried playing RE2 remake, and it was amazing. But then I got lost, and oh my god, don't comment the amount of times I've said I've gotten lost. Like, I'm telling you, I was so bad at finishing games back in the day. The fact that I've beaten over 150 games at this point, like almost all of them, like full-length AAA games, is like pretty remarkable to me as someone with ADHD and I guess just like low drive to like finish some of these games when they're not hitting right. But the good thing is I have finished Infamous 1, and that was like I said, I played on it. I ran through it. It's one of those where I was like, this is incredible. This is one of the best, like one of the most satisfying open world games and locomotion systems. And then other times I'm like, God damn, I hate this fucking game. Anything involving the rocket launchers, anything involving like annoying checkpoints or like unskippable cutscenes, like hasn't aged like the best, but it is like a really special franchise, even though it's very flawed. And the second game runs like shit half the time on a PS3. So thankfully I just beat Infamous 2. So that was in probably 2022, maybe 2023. Probably fall of 22, I would guess, is when I beat Infamous 1, and then I beat Infamous 2 this past weekend in 2025. So it's actually pretty crazy how big of a gap I unintentionally left. But I had just gotten Infamous Second Son at GameStop for $5, so I thought it was a good time to close that chapter. I know I have First Light and then Festival of Blood DLC at some point I gotta play as well, but Metroid Prime is complicated. I sucked at it as a kid. I have the player's guide. I couldn't even get out of the first mission as a kid. I couldn't beat the Parasite Queen, which is ridiculous in hindsight. It takes me 60 seconds now, and then I couldn't get out of the base that was blowing up. Very embarrassing. So this was this is a running theme. This was supposed to be like before, when I got back from the honeymoon, before I got Donkey Kong Bonanza. I was supposed to play a mission or two every morning and a mission at night. To get through it, but I had a weird thing where my ROG Ally crashed, where I was emulating it, and I lost a bunch of progress, and that's happened to me multiple times at this point. So over the course of trying to play this, I have it for GameCube, and I have the GameCube hooked up to the TV, so that might be the course of action I go with. I know they have the HD release of 1 on Switch, but I think that's so dumb if they're not going to do 2 and 3. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm thinking it might not be a bad idea. I'm doing a separate video on this, but I've been hooking up my game consoles to my through HDMI input to my MetaQuest 3 to kind of make it like a big projection. You can black out everything around you as well. It doesn't really work well for first-person games, at least for Wolfenstein. It made me want to throw up, but it worked well for some other game that I'm blanking on, some third-person game. So it might not be best for this, but I'll try it. It might be kind of cool to have like the visor on. I don't know. I own 1 and 2. I have forever, and then 3 I finally got on eBay. I haven't opened it up yet, and I plan on not opening it up at least until I beat 1. And I know 4 is coming out sometime this year. It might get kicked next year, but should be fall of this year theoretically. And I'm split on whether or not I'm in the same dilemma as I was with Pikmin, beloved GameCube franchise that I never actually beat 1 and 2 back in the day. I just played a lot and failed constantly. 3 came out when I wasn't paying as much attention to it. Nintendo, then the 4th one comes out. I'm like, that looks amazing. I'm probably not missing that much story. Let me play it. And me being like, should I earn it by playing 1, 2, and 3? Or will I play the new one and then go back like I did with God of War games? I don't know. But for right now, it's in the did not play. Recore. I was so excited when this first got announced, like at the E3 trailers. I thought were so great. I got it pretty early after launch for a pretty deep sale. And yeah, I guess it was just like a big disappointment at the time, unfortunately. So yeah, I've owned it, I think on Steam too, if that even exists. But I really want to play it, but I think there was a time where I only played like AA games like that, or like real mindless games, and was too intimidated by big story games. But now it's kind of the opposite. So we'll see. I don't think that's going to be the one that makes it out of that pile, but we will see shortly. I do want to play it, and the folks there is a big current of people who say it's underrated. Last of Us Part. All right, sorry, we're starting the very last list, and actually, I'm very curious as to when I made this stack of games because I'm very confused at the second one. But the first one is Last of Us Part 2. I have beaten this game, so we're good there. I love it. I know there's a whole lot there. I don't even really want to get into it. So, Guardians of the Galaxy. I have no idea why this is here because I didn't own it until somewhat recently. I got it free. Oh, it was probably on Game Pass. Huh. Well, that changes things. Interesting. Guardians of the Galaxy, I own it. I can't wait to play it. That might be the one that comes out of this list. It's been at the top of mind. I've been split between that, which is closer to like a Mass Effect. I've heard it compared to Mass Effect in like the gameplay style, not really like the interconnected story, but it's definitely not getting a sequel. Unfortunately, it didn't perform super well financially, but I own it. I got it at PAX, I think, and then I own it digitally through like Epic Game Store or whatever, and then I think it was in a Humble Choice. So, but that is a game that I'll play on PS5. So that might be at the top of that list, but I've been wanting to pull the trigger on it for a while, and it's completely different than Donkey Kong Bonanza. So, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I've actually played both. It wouldn't be in here. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I absolutely loved. My first Souls-like, if you want to call it that. It's like the lightest of Souls-like. Absolutely loved it. I liked it a lot more than the second game, shockingly. The second game is one of those cases where it's better. I call it the Horizon Forbidden West syndrome, where it's like the second one is better in all ways except story, I guess. And the story is still good. It's just not as captivating, and definitely that novelty factor that I mentioned earlier with, I don't know, Infamous? I don't know why I mentioned that, but, Guacamelee, for sure, where it's like, it's better. You have better skill set. It's more polished. It's just not as new, and that's unfortunate. Usually, like the sequels are always considered a little bit better, but and I always have fondness for Uncharted 1, which is ridiculous. Everybody lauds 2 as the best, or 3 is the best. I'd probably say 3 is like my favorite of those, and then 4 was just such a slog, but it has such great payoffs. So I would probably say if I had to play one, you put a gun to my head, I would play 4 because it's easiest, it's most polished. But I do love 1 a lot, even though it has its issues. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, I'm still trying to make my way through. My buddy lent me his copy of Twilight Princess on the GameCube, and I'm like 2/3 of the way through it. It's a very long game, most of the way through it, but I'm stuck at the Temple of Time at the moment, and it's been years in the making of me trying to beat that damn game. It's so long, I'm never restarting it, so I won't play this game until that game's beaten. I have multiple ways. I have the GameCube. I have No way to play the HD version, unfortunately. They're never going to release that for the Switch, but they brought it to Switch Online, so I'll play it at some point. Fallout 3, when the show came out, I played a little bit of it. Awesome, but yeah, I definitely have to be in a certain mindset. Earthbound. Okay, well, this is an interesting list. Earthbound, nope. I put an hour into it. It was at a weird time where something new must have came out and distracted me. I'll definitely play at some point. It's a big gaming sin of mine as I'm playing as I'm playing more JRPGs like Dragon Quest. Like, hopefully it is a good fit, and it sinks its teeth into me more. I played Paper Mario Thousand Year Door and Super Mario RPG, so hopefully I'm a little bit less stupid. Dying Light has been at top of mind recently. I don't think it's that mindless. It's not going to be as mindless as Dead Island was, unfortunately, and I have Dying Light 1 and 2, but yeah, I just don't know when I'm going to play this. It seems like a good Portal game. I own it on Steam as well, but with it being like focused on like a little bit of horror with the zombies, I'm like, is that a lock-in game? Is that a playlist or a podcast game? I don't know. Not too sure, but it'll be played soon. It's been like really at the top of mind. I know I've been saying that a lot, but it's like it's always in the orbit of what should I play next, and that might be like I've heard good things. I played a little bit of it at a friend's house and thought it was the most incredible thing I'd ever seen. I hadn't played much next gen at that point, and then I was absolutely blown away by that and Forza. So at one point I thought it was like dead ass realistic, which is pretty fun to think about. Fire Emblem Warriors, I think I got halfway through this and something else new must have came out at the time. That was before my big boom of like beating a lot of games in rapid succession. The story is like kind of nonsense, so I'll definitely beat it because I have the other Fire Emblem Heroes game, whatever. A lot of Fire Emblem games I have to beat that I'm going to prioritize over Fire Emblem Warriors, but I'll just skip over to Hyrule Warriors Definitive. There's a new one coming out, so like I'll probably play this one. It's just like with the Muso games, I kind of get a little bit burnt out like pretty quickly, and they are a little bit longer than I'd like them to be. If they were 6 to 8 hours, I'd be all over it, dude. I would play every Muso game possible if they were like between 5 and 10 hours realistically. And these are, it's 18 to 20. What? 18 to 35 for Zelda? Jesus Christ. And then 12 to 30 for Fire Emblem, and that's like, it's shorter than any standard Fire Emblem game, but I just get so bored of the combat. It is a bit cooler in Fire Emblem because there's like some tactics involved, but not too much. Danganronpa, the first one, I've started it multiple times. I'm just never quite in the mood for it, though I have no doubt it's a great game. Nier Automata, thank God I've actually beaten some of these games. I got worried there for a second. Sorry, they're too stuck together here. Oh great, another fucking Fire Emblem game that I haven't beat. But Nier Automata, one of my favorite games of all time. I played it either last year or the year before. It would have been the year before. Incredible game. Absolutely broke me. I did all the major endings, and incredible. Truly, this was one of those I was very intimidated by, and then I finally sat down to play it after years of Beyond and PS I Love You XOXO, and then like all these amazing podcast YouTubers like saying how good it was and how life-changing, and I was scared of how many endings there were, blah 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 blah. And then I started up and it was like a shoot 'em up, and I was like, what the fuck's going on here? Love that game, would die for that game. It's so good. Very glad I played it. Fire Emblem Three Houses, I keep hearing how long it is, how many 50 to 75 hours. I keep hearing you have to do all the playthroughs to really get it. And then I have like the Muso sequel, not Three Houses, I forget what it's called. Something. Doesn't matter. Whatever. I'll play it at some point. I've been thinking about it a lot too, as I've been playing some games like on the Switch 2, and then I bring the Switch OLED to the gym with me, and that's been one where I'm like, do I chip away at that at the gym on the treadmill or on the elliptical? I'm like, I don't know. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. I don't even remember owning this when I first made this list, so that's kind of interesting. Maybe I made it later than I thought. I'm currently playing through Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, so I'll play that before I start Definitive. But yeah, I own the whole franchise, very much looking forward to playing it. Wow, it's a longer video than I thought. I'm almost done, I swear. Fire Emblem Awakening. I worry I'm not going to get a single another win in this this list here, but Fire Emblem Awakening I've played halfway through multiple times, and something always comes up, and either one of the battles is too hard, or I just don't remember what's going on in the story, or it's kind of like a slog in the story, and I'm not crazy about it. Witcher 3, I want to play Witcher 2 on 360 before I play this, so I don't know why I made this. I think at one point I didn't care. I just wanted to play it. Oh, great. Jesus Christ. Then we have Kingdom Hearts. I don't know when I'm, like, once again, it's a 3D, like, 3D platformer with ridiculous story, and it's 28 hours for the first goddamn game. I think the second one's a little bit shorter, but why is it so long? Like, what are you doing? Why is this so long? So I own the all-in-one package, which includes everything except the last DLC, but it has 1.5, 2.5, 2.8, and 3. I want to play them at some point. I've been thinking about them as like a mindless thing, but it's apparently the story is super convoluted, so I have to pay attention. I don't know when I'm going to play it. And then, of course, we have Red Dead Redemption 2, which I got with my, when I traded in my VCR Xbox One for my Xbox One S in, 2018? Maybe 2019? Yeah, 2018. Or maybe early 2019. Doesn't matter. I loved the first couple hours and then found out it was like 100, it's not 100 hours, but it's a really long game, and work was really busy, and then I forgot where I was and whatever. Don't know when I'm ever going to beat that game. I keep hearing how incredibly good it is, and that scares me, so I feel like I have to be locked in for like 100 hours. I don't know. All right, so shockingly, I beat 3 games from like the longest pile, which I'm kind of shocked by. 1 game in the medium long pile, 1 game in the medium pile, or 2 games in the medium pile, and, 2 games in the short pile. All right, of this is so annoying because I don't really want to play I don't want to like have to beat Devil May Cry 1, but that might be the right. Oh wait, no, this is an easy one. So of the short games, we're gonna go with Layers of Fear, and if I don't beat it, then I'll definitely have to beat Devil May Cry because I don't know if I can get myself to beat Outlast at this moment in time. But Layers of Fear, I'll put that to the side. And then Dead Space, now's not quite the time. Metal Gear Solid 1 is like up there. I'll just put it to the side for right now. Shadow, not right now. I need like a quiet, that'll be like good for like the fall, winter. Bayonetta is up there. That's probably going to be the answer because I'm literally supposed to be playing it this weekend. So maybe I'll crack into it right after this video and go from there. Oceanhorn, not quite. I just beat Echoes of Wisdom, and I'm like more likely to play. It's not that long though. I'll put it to the side. I'm more likely to play that than Metal Gear Solid 1. Oh, I don't know. Metro will be that, actually. Metro is the answer. I'll put Metro to the side, but maybe there's one that's really calling me that I'm just missing. Doom 3, not the moment. Killzone 1, not quite. I think I'll definitely pull from these again, so I've been dying to... Yeah, instead of just like buying new releases and stuff like that, this will be good to consult again. So let me just do one, and it'll kind of keep things fresh for when I return to this pile. The question is, well, do I do Bayonetta because I'll actually do that right now, or do I pull Metro? I'll put them both off to the side right now, and then maybe that'll actually free me up from one in the next file. I'm not 1,000% sure how best to handle this and what's like a good way to do this. So for right now, we have Layers of Fear and then Metro / Bayonetta. Metro won't be for like a week or 2, so I don't really know. Okay, we have Dishonored, which is probably going to be a no. Evil Within, which is more likely. We're going to put that to the side. Resident Evil, absolutely not. Not right now. Metroid Prime was supposed to be yes, but I'm tired, so probably not. And then Recore. Recore is actually not a bad one because I can play that on the Xbox. And right now, the game that I have consistently on the Xbox and then the ROG Ally with remote play is Star Wars Force Unleashed 2, which I'm almost done with. So I'm going to leave Recore and Evil Within to the side. I might just flip a coin, honestly, to decide, which is a way that I like to do things, personally, to take some of the choice away. But that list is actually getting pretty slim, so the good news is it'll make me play either Resident Evil or Dishonored or Metroid Prime soon. Actually, those are the 3 that are left. So, and those are games I need to play to maintain my nerd status. Now, the good thing about this 4th list is Guardians is a game I've really wanted to play. I don't really want to play Earthbound or Dying Light is up there. I'm going to put that near the top, but for right now, no. Danganronpa, absolutely not right now. Fire Emblem, no. Xenoblade, not yet. Kingdom Hearts is up there. I'll put that towards the top, but for next time. And then the rest of these are going to be painful, but like if push comes to shove, if I make myself play Earthbound, it would be such a service to myself, but between Kingdom Hearts, which is 28 hours, or Guardians, which I know I'll love from Crystal Dynamics, who made one of my favorite trilogies in gaming with the Tomb Raider ones, we're gonna leave Guardians. I'm happy I get to actually play this, you know? And if I look at this correctly, Layers of Fear I own on Xbox One, which I could do with the VR helmet in this setup over here, or I can do in the bedroom with like the blackout curtains. So that's good news. Bayonetta I own on Switch. Metro I own on fucking everything. So that, since I already have that scheduled, I'm gonna go with Bayonetta. And then, honestly, Metro might not even, like, count on that list. We'll see. So we're going to go with Bayonetta, because that's an easy one that I can bring to the... Well, not really bring to the gym with me. I'll fall off the treadmill, as I've learned, if I play an action game. But I'm going to go with Layers of Fear on the Xbox. Bayonetta... Oh, man, this might not work out perfectly. But Bayonetta on the Switch. OLED. And then either Recore or Evil Within. Recore I own on Xbox, but I also own potentially on Steam, but definitely on my ROG Ally. It's like a Xbox Play Anywhere title, so I could play that exclusively on the ROG Ally. That's actually a good call. I'm gonna put that to the side. And then Evil Within, I also own on Steam, so I could play that on the ROG Ally. Own on PS4. I'm a little bit split. Maybe now is not the best time for Evil Within, just because it's a longer game. And Recore is like, I can kind of shut my brain off. I don't know. That's a tough one. I think because Guardians is, you know, a 17-hour game, we're going to put Evil Within right at the tippity top of this next list. So that's going to save me from having to play Metroid Prime, which I'm excited about. Dishonored, I am excited about. I just have to force myself to, like, prioritize it. And then Resident Evil 1, which I know it'll be great, and I'll have been glad to play it. But goddamn, I also know as soon as I beat it, they're going to announce, like, a remake of 1 or something. Which doesn't really help things because the RE2 remake, I didn't really get that far in. But anyway, so I'm very excited to play these games. That's great news. And I was worried that I would have played like maybe one of these games. So the fact that I played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is not terrible. It's more than I thought. And the good news is, a Bastion, all-time game for me. I'm glad that this apparently worked out because I went with like really well-renowned games that I had FOMO of not playing. Titanfall 2, one of my favorite shooter campaigns of all time. God of War, one of my favorite series, and God of War 3 is like a top 10 game of all time for me. God of War 2018 is number 2 or 3. Might be number 4 at this point. Nier Automata kind of might have hurdled it. I don't remember at this point. Alan Wake, fun experience. Glad I had it, and now I get to play the second one eventually. Infamous, fun. Very glad I played it. One of the better open world games that I would... It feels like a game that if I ever got like really sick, like the flu, maybe not COVID, that's like more serious, but like I could see playing through Infamous again as like a comfort game. Nier Automata, a top 3 game of all time for me. Jedi Fallen Order, incredible. Top 25 easily, maybe a little bit higher. I adore that game. The Last of Us Part 2 is a top 10 game for me, not everybody's cup of tea. So yeah, incredible games here. And I know all these other games are well-renowned, except for maybe Oceanhorn I'm looking at, which is so funny. But anyways, I thought this was going to be a 13-minute video, and we're at 53 minutes. But thank you so much. Hopefully I did a decent job with visual aids on this one. And also, it's like super niche. And also, this is really for me. This is for me and posterity. You know, I'll try to do better next time. I don't know if that's my takeaway, but I'm actually going to use these moving forward to establish the next games I want to play. And the fact that they work out per system is quite nice. I'm not going to reorder them in that way. I like having the different lengths as like deciding factors. So can't wait to play Layers of Fear, apparently. Bayonetta I'll get cracking into right now. I played a little bit of Donkey Kong this morning, so now it's time to do my homework, to eat my vegetables, and play this goddamn awesome action series. And then Recore, I'll figure out how best to play that in a way that works. I could just set it up on the TV to... I'll figure that out. And then Guardians, I'm going to install on the PS5 right now so I can maybe crack into that this afternoon or play on the Portal this evening. So unsure which, but yeah, very excited. And this is actually a fun experiment. Thanks so much. Catch the next one later. Bye.